For 6 continuous days, the people of Sri Lanka continued to take to the streets to express their strongest pleasure in the government and the current state of the economy. Protests were staged at various locations throughout Colombo, especially in front of the presidential secretariat last evening. And today was no different, as members of the public continued to rally at multiple areas as well. Notably, with Parliament convening today, police had taken measures to set up barricades blocking the entry towards the Parliament. As expected, a group of protesters had converged at the location and commenced protesting. With that, the police then proceeded to set up barricades at another entrance to the Parliament as well. Not long after, a group of people began protesting there as well. The protesters continued the agitation despite the rain and began inspecting the vehicles that began exiting the parliamentary premises. In the meantime, Archbishop of Colombo His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, along with other members of the Catholic clergy, carried out a peaceful march in Borella today.
We don't talk, no slogans.
In other developments, last night a spate of protests had been carried out targeting the residences of many parliamentarians. However, what had started out as peaceful protests had escalated to the extent where some of the protesters had gone as far as to cause damage to some of the properties. The residences of a few parliamentarians that sustained damages were those of former ministers Roshan Ranasinghe, Gamini Lokuge, Keheliya Ramukwelda, and state ministers Shehan Semasinghe and Channa Jayasumana. Under this situation, the police had fired tear gas and used water cannons to disperse the groups. Meanwhile, speaking in Parliament today, State Minister Kanchana Wijayasinghe urged the Speaker of the Parliament to order the IGP to look into these attacks.
මේ ඊයේ දවසේ ඇතිවෙච්ච සිදුවීම් තුළ සහ පහුගිය දින කිහිපේ ඇතිවෙච්ච සිදුවීම් සාමකාමී උද්ඝෝෂණයකින් එහාට ගිහිල්ලා මේක සංවිධානාත්මකව ප්‍රචණ්ඩකාරී තත්වයකට සහ රට අරාජික කරන තත්වයකට ගෙන යන්න කණ්ඩායමක් උත්සාහ කරන එක කියනවා පේනවා. මම ඉල්ලීමක් කරන ඔබතුමා කතානායකවරයා හැටියට පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ මේ മന്ത്രിවරුන්ගේ ආරක්ෂාව වෙනුවෙන් පෙනීන පුද්ගලයා හැටියටත් විශේෂම පොලිස්පතිවරයාට නියෝගයක් නිකුත් කරලා මේ කණ්ඩායම් පිළිබඳව පරීක්ෂණයක් කරන්න කියලා. අපි මේ කියන්නේ සාමකාමීව බෝඩ් උස්සගෙන උද්ඝෝෂණය කරන පිරිස නෙවෙයි. මේ ගෙවල් වලට ඉස්සරහා වටලන්න කියන්නේ කවුද? ඒ ගෙදර ඉස්සරහට ආවට පස්සේ ගල් ටික දීලිවල බොන්න දීලිවල විවිධ දේවල් කරන්න කවුද?
In the meantime, the police issued a statement today stating that people are allowed to exercise their right of freedom of expression through peaceful protests, except those causing damages during protests will be brought to justice. The statement read that measures will be taken to identify individuals seen in video footage causing damages to public and private property. Similarly, the Bar Association of Sri Lanka also issued a statement requesting the public to express their dissent peacefully without targeting private property or causing destruction to property. They stated that such conduct is criminal and can lead to protesters being charged in courts of law. The association went on to say that if a peaceful protest becomes violent, such protests would only dilute the proper objective of the protest and will strengthen the hand of those who seek to suppress legitimate dissent. Meanwhile, the US ambassador to Sri Lanka, Julie Chung, taking to social media, urged the public to continue to carry out peaceful protests while encouraging the government to draw on the best minds in Sri Lanka to solve the economic crisis.